This building is going to range from about 6 to about 8 stories. All these new developments certainly change the character of the neighborhood, and it depends on who you talk to, whether that's for the better or for the worse. But certainly one-story fast food style structures and surface parking isn't exactly urban and wasn't what the history of the Short North was. There is debate about whether these buildings are getting too tall and if that's adversely impacting the character of the neighborhood.
I moved here in 1986. It has gotten so bad that our friends don't want to come down to the Short North anymore because it's so busy that they can't find a place to park. And what it's...
Nobody really enjoys it anymore.
When you look at a lot of urban streets, to really give a good urban feel, you need some type of structure on each side of you, and it really can vary depending on how wide the street is. So a wider street, to feel more intimate, you'll want taller buildings. With a narrow street, you probably don't need to go as tall.
The development at White Castle is going to be 104 feet. When the sun is rising, a 104-foot building is going to cast a 300 or 400-foot shadow. It is next to buildings that are 4 stories and 3 stories. So it's more than double the height of the buildings that are next to it. And the Shaw Davis Funeral Home and the houses that are right west of that are going to be in shadow virtually all morning long.
We're relearning in Columbus about how to be urban. And you can't be urban without a lot of people. And so the density along High Street is really important to make it sort of an 18-hour-a-day neighborhood that we're hoping for. I think the Dakota was really good because it replaced a one-story structure. So we have ground floor retail, condominiums above. When we were looking at the Dakota, we took a look at what was at the left and right, and towards the left was the Greystone apartment building, a very iconic building within the Short North, and so we didn't want the Dakota to overpower that. So if you look at that building closely, it does go above the Greystone, but the top floor, the penthouse, steps back, so it doesn't overpower what's next to it. Further north is the Jackson, and that's another one where we took a close look, and we encouraged the developer to step back the taller portion of the building so it didn't overpower the street.
The Victorian Village Commission has set up guidelines which they revised in 2011. Those guidelines were accepted by the City Council, endorsed by the City Council, and state unequivocally that any new development that's done in what they call the Short North Corridor is to be compatible with buildings that are contributing buildings. Now, the contributing buildings are the ones that have been there a long time. So make it smaller, make it in lines with the Victorian Village guidelines, and it will fit in better. We have to build things that fit in with the neighborhood as it is and as the Victorian Village guidelines say it should be.